Welcome back, Gale Force. Today we'll be talking about Gatrie, a unit from Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn who my live stream viewers seem to despise. And first, let's talk about his traits. Gatrie is available from Chapter 3 in Path of Radiance. He leaves at the end of Chapter 7 before returning in Chapter 13. He possesses solid bases and growths typical of an armor knight with a focus on strength, skill, and speed. He has the light affinity, and his support partners are Ilyana, Astrid, Marcia, and Shinon. Gatry is undeniably the best armor knight in Path of Radiance for the average playthrough. Unfortunately, that's like being the best link on a plate of sausages. Armor knights aren't particularly good in Path of Radiance, and while Gatry is a serviceable unit, you'll be using him because you enjoy armor knights and not because he'll ever be an integral part of your army. His biggest flaws are twofold: his low movement and the fact that there are a handful of late game maps with siege tomes that absolutely melt through Gatry like a knife through hot butter. He is far from unusable, but extra care must be taken to ensure he can both keep up with the rest of your army and doesn't get isolated and destroyed by magical attacks. In Radiant Dawn, Gatry joins at the same time as the other Grail mercenaries in the prologue for Part 3. Here, he's sporting some very well rounded bases and growths, as well as a shiny new axe rank, which he can make very effective use of should the player choose to focus on growing it. Gatry will still struggle with his mobility issues, but among all of your Armor Knight candidates in this game, he is almost certainly the best. Toward the very end of the game, he may struggle slightly thanks to his middling resistance, but this will not impact him for the majority of the game, and throughout all of Part 4, you can buy pure waters from the shop. Gatry is perhaps the best candidate for the Wishblade, but he can also make surprisingly effective use of Irvin provided his axe rank is trained and the weapon isn't already in the hands of another unit. In conclusion, Gatry is a fairly underwhelming unit in Path of Radiance and an effective, if slow, unit in Radiant Dawn. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and click the bell if you'd like to get notified when I post a new video. A special thank you to patrons 60 Sweep and Gorilla Danny for subscribing at the Paladin tier, and Bosnia for subscribing at the Great Lord tier. And also to YouTube member Jerry for joining at the Paladin tier. I'd really appreciate if you checked out the links in the description if you can, but otherwise, have a great rest of your day.